Did you know that the famous actor Bruce Willis was recently diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia (FTD"? Could the subtle changes in behavior or personality that you've been attributing to stress or aging actually be early warning signs of a serious disease? Today, I'll reveal 10 early warning signs of FTD you absolutely cannot ignore. Unlike Alzheimer's, which usually starts by impacting memory, FTD directly affects the frontal and temporal lobes, the parts of the brain responsible for personality, behavior, and language. FTD often emerges early, sometimes as young as your 50s, dramatically disrupting the lives, families, and careers of those affected. Imagine Lisa, a vibrant, successful executive in her early 50s, respected by her peers for her warmth, empathy, and sharp professional instincts. She was the type of person colleagues turned to for advice and comfort, always ready with a listening ear and compassionate wisdom. But gradually, those around her began noticing unsettling changes. Lisa's warmth faded, replaced by blunt remarks, cold indifference, and an inexplicable aloofness that left her colleagues puzzled and uneasy. Conversations that once flowed naturally now seemed strained and uncomfortable, leaving her peers struggling to understand her stark transformation. At home, Lisa's family was equally concerned. Her husband noticed the subtle shifts first, wondering if stress at work was the cause. However, as weeks turned into months, Lisa's behavior grew increasingly unpredictable. Her once endearing empathy was diminishing rapidly, replaced by awkwardness in social situations. Family gatherings, which Lisa had always cherished, became fraught with discomfort. She would interrupt conversations abruptly, make insensitive comments, or remain eerily silent during emotional moments that previously would have deeply touched her. This stark contrast in behavior raised alarms among those closest to her, leaving them worried and confused about what could possibly be wrong. Financial matters soon became another source of distress. Lisa, who had always been prudent and careful with money, began making impulsive and reckless decisions. Without consulting her husband, she invested large sums into questionable ventures and fell victim to obvious scams, losing substantial amounts of their savings. Each financial misstep intensified the family's stress and frustration. Lisa, however, showed little concern about the consequences of her actions, adding further anxiety to an already tense household. Have you ever witnessed someone lose interest entirely in activities they once passionately enjoyed, seemingly overnight? Lisa experienced precisely this. Previously an avid cook, known for preparing delicious, elaborate meals for family and friends, she abruptly abandoned the kitchen. Her beautiful garden, a source of pride and tranquility, became neglected, overrun with weeds and untended plants. These activities, which once brought her immense joy and satisfaction, now appeared meaningless and burdensome. Her family watched helplessly as her spark faded, unable to rekindle her interest or understand the reason behind this drastic change. As Lisa's condition progressed, peculiar behaviors emerged. She developed obsessive rituals, fixating on trivial actions with intense focus. Her family would find her compulsively rearranging objects, repeatedly counting household items, or meticulously organizing her belongings in patterns only she understood. Meals became particularly challenging. Lisa insisted on eating foods in a rigid and changing sequence, reacting with agitation or distress when her routine was disrupted. Her family struggled to accommodate these rituals, caught between respecting her needs and managing their own growing frustration and confusion. Imagine the bewilderment at the dinner table when Lisa's eating habits began changing erratically. One day, she would display intense cravings, especially for sugary snacks, consuming sweets in excessive amounts without apparent awareness of satiety. On other days, she showed little interest in food altogether, pushing plates away untouched, indifferent to the meals she once enjoyed. These unpredictable dietary shifts led to significant weight fluctuations, compounding the physical toll on Lisa's health and the emotional strain on her loved ones. Simple daily tasks increasingly became overwhelming for Lisa. Activities such as following recipes, paying bills, or even basic chores turned into insurmountable hurdles. Her family observed with growing concern as she struggled to complete steps she once performed effortlessly. Her attempts to hide these difficulties only added to the household's tension. At work, previously manageable responsibilities now caused Lisa immense stress, leading to frequent mistakes and missed deadlines. Colleagues watched her confusion grow, perplexed by her inability to keep pace with tasks that had always been second nature. Communication, once Lisa's strength, deteriorated rapidly. She frequently stumbled over words, unable to find the right terms during conversations. More alarmingly, she began misusing words altogether, substituting incorrect terms without realizing her mistakes. Simple requests became difficult to articulate, and Lisa started avoiding conversations altogether to hide her growing frustration and embarrassment. Her family and co-workers struggled to maintain normal interactions, feeling helpless as Lisa's vibrant voice and eloquence faded into silence and confusion. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching aspect of Lisa's situation was her complete lack of self-awareness regarding these profound changes. She was unable to recognize or accept the severity of her condition, often reacting defensively when confronted about her altered behaviors. Her denial created additional barriers, complicating efforts to seek medical intervention or support. This lack of insight intensified the emotional pain experienced by those around her, as they watched helplessly while the person they loved slowly transformed into someone unrecognizable. The tragedy of frontotemporal dementia (FTD) lies not only in its devastating symptoms, but also in the heartbreaking experience families endure. Watching a loved one gradually lose the essence of who they are, becoming a stranger in their own body, is emotionally overwhelming and profoundly isolating. Families often struggle to comprehend the profound transformation taking place before their eyes, grieving the loss of the person they once knew, while simultaneously navigating the practical challenges brought by the illness. Recognizing these early warning signs of FTD, as illustrated by Lisa's story, is crucial. It allows for early intervention, proper diagnosis, and the chance to implement supportive measures to improve quality of life. Early recognition offers precious time to adapt, plan, and find support, both for patients and their caregivers. Understanding and compassion play vital roles in managing FTD. Families who can identify these early indicators can seek specialized medical advice sooner, enhancing their ability to cope effectively. It's essential to remember that these behaviors aren't deliberate choices made by individuals, but rather symptoms of a debilitating neurological condition. The key lies in awareness, patience, and empathy. In Lisa's case, early recognition of her symptoms allowed her family to seek help from specialized neurologists who understood the complexities of frontotemporal dementia. With professional support, they developed strategies to manage her symptoms, maintain her dignity, and enhance her quality of life, despite the progression of the disease. Ultimately, Lisa's story underscores the importance of vigilance and early action. The subtle yet critical shifts in behavior and personality associated with FTD should never be ignored or minimized. Understanding these early signs can significantly impact outcomes, providing families with essential tools to navigate this challenging journey together with compassion and strength. The most mysterious aspect of FTD is its direct attack on parts of the brain controlling our identity. When these areas deteriorate, it's not just behavior that changes, it's the core essence of who we are. How do you cope when your loved ones suddenly become strangers within familiar bodies? Identifying the crucial early signs of frontotemporal dementia can greatly improve how families prepare and manage the situation. Although there is no cure yet, early detection provides valuable time for planning and implementing effective care strategies. Could recognizing these signs early significantly improve your life or the life of a loved one? If you found this content valuable, please like, comment with your experiences, and share this video widely. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more vital health information. Your support helps us spread awareness about this critical condition.